What's up, YouTube? Mike from Mass here. Mass Aquariums. And I was going to go live tonight, but not only could I barely get out of my recliner, but I'm super stuffed up, sniffling like a mofo, so it'll be, all you guys doing will be listening to me sneeze and sniffle. So I figured I'd give you a quick beta Fluval Spec update. Mr. Seed is doing marvelous. He's a gorgeous beta. I love watching him swim around. This tank is doing really well. I added a bunch of plants that I got from Planted Aquarium Central. If you saw the video the other day, it was a little unboxing. These Java Fern have seen better days. There's a few leaves. I do have new growth, which is nice, but there's a few leaves that just never really, when they came in, they didn't look all that great, and they have yet to recover. But I do have a lot of new growth. See if it'll focus in. So I do have a lot of new growth on the leaves themselves. The Amano shrimp are going to town on pretty much anything they can find. For a while I thought they were dead because I didn't see them for like 2 weeks, and then one day they were just all going crazy on the rocks. Sorry about the this LED light on the spec makes it super, there we go, makes it almost look like foggy. In person, the water is crystal clear, the light looks magnificent, but for some reason on the phone, not looking too good. So I added some dwarf hairgrass, I added a few crypts, some Anubias nana, and this really pretty pennywort. I used to love floaters that, you don't really have to get down into the substrate and they'll just grow like crazy. And the beta certainly does love it. The flow that's being blocked by the heater is now perfect. I do get some surface agitation, but it's not really necessary for the beta anyway. What's necessary is keeping the flow down so that he can swim and not have to fight the current. But see if I can he's kind of posing a little here. Let me see if I can get a close-up. Absolutely beautiful fish. I love this beta. And he's really super hardy. He's been through a lot. He's traveled. I'm spooking him now. He's been from Florida, shipped to Massachusetts, driven to New Jersey, driven back to Massachusetts, then driven to my house. And I mean, really tough guy, this dude. But he's happy in his home. I got a nice little crypt back here. I love crypts. I used to have them in my old tank, and I just haven't really had a chance to get really many plants that I want since I cut down so many tanks. I used to have a bunch of tanks, like 13 or 14 of them. But then when I moved and I cut down, it's just too much work taking care of the tanks. But I'm slowly building back up. I'm going to get another one of these Fluval Specs and put my beta that's in the big 165, 135 with the plus the sump Blackwater tank. Go check that out if you haven't. I'm getting lots of comments and personal messages about how awesome the Blackwater tank is, so go check that out if you haven't. All I'm feeding this guy is flake, and if you follow me on Instagram at Mass Aquariums, I did recently just started dosing Florin Multi. This is my second week. I've noticed some good growth after only 2 weeks of use. I'm not dosing a whole lot either, a 1 ml about every 4 days, but I have noticed the Java Fern is looking a lot healthier, but it could just be, settling in. It's only been 2 weeks. Usually it takes months to dose to see any like real results. But I want to apologize for not going live tonight. As you can tell, I sound like shit. I'm super stuffed up, and really it's freezing cold, and I've been sitting in my recliner watching football next to a fire. But I figured I'd get my ass up and give you guys a quick 5-minute on the Fluval Spec Beta tank. I'm gonna jam some root tabs in the substrate here and get this dwarf hairgrass and these crypts nice and healthy. They're root feeders, and this tank should be pretty jungle-fied pretty soon, and Mr. Seed will be extremely happy. I have some Awesome snails coming in from Green Oasis Farms. I think they're red racers. They're absolutely gorgeous. They look so cool. And I'm going to put them all in this tank. Maybe a few in the 40 breeder, but I'm going to put some in this tank. And like watching them crawl around, like there's snails all over this tank, but you really can't see them because they're brown. These red racers will pop in this tank. It'll look absolutely mint. I can't wait to get those in next week and get them in the tank. So hopefully I feel better, and hopefully that was not torture, you listening to me talk like this. Go Pats. I'm out.